Hey everybody, welcome back to another YouTube technical analysis video. Today I'm just going to be covering the markets like we do every Monday open and just covering a little bit about what we've seen since the last video and how the markets are looking right now. So right now you can see this is Bitcoin where we always start off, and this is the same chart we was looking at last Monday. I've just cleaned it up a little bit just so we can dive into what we've seen over the past 7 days. So this chart I think is 3 or 4 days old now, and the first thing I was expecting was a retest of this level here. The reason for that is because the previous all-time high level was around 57,000. And we could see here we had one failed retest or one failed breakout, here again and here again. So on this third attempt, we could guess that momentum would start to slow and price could see a drop. But it does not mean that a local top is in. Usually when we see a local top, we usually see very volatile moves, and there isn't this consolidation pattern at resistance where price is testing the same level multiple times in a row. Usually you just see one test, a small pullback, a breakout, which is sort of like a fake out, and then price to decrease if that is considered to be like a local top or a local high. In this case, we saw 3 retests of resistance, which means that this level right here is breaking as resistance, losing some momentum, and on the next attempt, we should see a breakout. That's why a lot of traders say that they wait for 3 retests or 3 supports or 3 bounces to determine their analysis. So this level is getting weaker, so I thought we might see a wick down, take out some lows, and then to see price break above this level at 57,000. We didn't really see that. If we zoom in, you see here we got a wick down to 55,000, which is sort of the same thing. I was expecting 54,000, so it's not too much of a huge difference. And then we just saw price get the breakout that we expected, putting in a new high around 61,000, which 62,000 was my first target. So missed that by a little bit, but no worries. And after putting in the high now, we are seeing price come down. One, due to some FUD with Gemini. Apparently there was some large on-chain transactions with BTC flowing in. I think around $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. But that was not the case. And the transactions were all internal, just money flowing internally and not coming from cold storage, which if that's the case, then that is not the issue. Until we see some major shifts with on-chain transactions and how cold storage wallets are holding, there's no reason to listen to news like that unless it's verified. So the current 6-hour looks pretty good. You can see we've got this retest I was looking for earlier on, a bit more conviction in that retest there, which is around 54,000, the same wick which happened here, which is great to see. And overall price action looks really healthy right now. Like if we compare this whole zone here to like here, you can see that price action has built up some really good support, and price action looks a lot healthier in terms of low time frame structure. As long as we bounce here, I would expect something like this pretty convincingly. What would change my mind is that if we saw price action come here and we see 55,000 be flipped back into resistance. This is where I would probably take some large positions out of the market and expect further downside. But right now, low time frame structure looks really good, and honestly, macro looks fine as well. Is this our macro chart? Yes, it is. I'm going to delete some levels we don't really need. But I'm pretty sure this is the chart we used last week, so I'm confident in the levels we have marked out. It seems like this level is like a macro fib level, a fib extension. Also, the previous high candle was around 57,000, where we saw this candle close and this candle close. And today, I said on Twitter earlier, not the worst case, but at the very least, I want to see a close above 57,000. And in the best case, I want to see a close above 57,500. So they're my two targets for the daily time frame and the close, which will make this structure look really good. Let's take a look at Ethereum, because which chart do we want to see? Let's take a look at this. So as everyone knows, I trade Ethereum a lot more than BTC, just because I prefer the price action. But right now, literally nothing to worry about. So this chart is a few days old. You could see here what I was expecting, which played out pretty well. Here was the retest of this level we wanted to see confirmed and validated as support, and then price moved higher, but was rejected at not really all-time high, but around I would even say that's like the 2K region, because there just seems to be a little bit of chop between around 2K and 9,500. But like similar to BTC, as long as we see this 0.618 fib level acting as support, like it has previously, here, and here, then no reason to be bearish in the current market. And this daily close could look pretty good. If we close above, probably here maybe, I guess anywhere above 1700, 1750, probably 1750, because there's a lot of consolidation and a lot of price action in this 1700 to 1750 range. So that acting as support now also validates a new higher low as well. So we could just continue our momentum upwards, but I see no reason to be bearish right now in low time frames, and I guess even the daily looks okay. Nothing too major to worry about. So even on this chart here, this was from last week's video, I believe. Not too much has changed, technically speaking. As long as this level stays valid as support, then there's no reason to think that we're going any lower right now. So expecting a bounce on the daily, and I expect new all-time highs within the next week to 10 days for Ethereum, if this structure holds. If we see price break down and 1750 region is resistance, that's when you want to close some of your positions, because this range between 1500 and 1450 is likely to be the major support level we see retested. But till that happens, no reason to think otherwise, and the current time frame, low time frame structure is still bullish. And the macro, so I posted this on Twitter a while ago. So this is my weekly high time frame thing. I was explaining how GAN fans work. And I guess this is a good follow-up because in the last week's video, I explained how this trend line produced from a GAN fan has really good macro levels for reading both support and resistance. And even though people think it's like some type of weird inaccurate tool, it's very useful. And you can see here, as soon as price got above and confirmed it was support, then this would be your entry into a fresh long position. So around 16.30, and now we've seen possibly another retest here, because you can see that also in terms of normal support and resistance, this level at 17.20 has been a good support level. So yeah, nothing broken in terms of macro strength right now, and overall as bullish as ever. No reason to think otherwise. So my opinions right now are that Ethereum low time frame looks good, a nice retest into support, and bouncing well, and I'm looking for a daily close above 1750, or in the best case 1800. And similar to BTC, looking for a worst case close around 57,000, and best case 57,500 for BTC. Also, what I wanted to cover in this video was two projects I'm heavily looking at right now. One of them I have been tweeting about since $2. That one being Ethernity. I'm really bullish on the NFT space right now, like a lot of people are. But I think Ethernity has a really promising chance to become one of, or if the biggest NFT provider, not provider, but marketplace and digital content provider in the space, really. I really like what they're doing, and I think they're going to be working with some really big artists in not only the music industry, but also you can see here with football legends, soccer players, film, and just general icons. They announced on Twitter that they're going to be doing a drop. I can't remember who it is with. I think it might have been Muhammad Ali, which is just insane. I think they have the rights for that. And I think they're going to be doing some really big artists soon. And what I like about it is that you can farm stones, which hopefully I'm expecting in the future to provide some really big value for NFT holders and NFT adopters. And I think, if I'm correct, that the price is highly undervalued right now. I think they're currently around $80 million market cap. But yeah, my long-term target for this is like $100. Currently sitting around 20, I believe. There is a private distribution today for private sale holders, so I'm going to be scouting that for a purchase if we see a dip around to the $17 level. So that's what I'm expecting for Ethernity. Really bullish on the project. I think they're going to be a major shareholder in the NFT space moving forward. Second project I want to talk about very briefly, because I'm going to have an article coming out on them soon, is Polkalokr. Now, there's a lot of hype around Polkadot right now and Polkadot listings. But one thing we haven't seen is a super trustless and simple way of doing escrow and sort of like tokenomic problems within the DeFi space. So, like I said, I'm going to write an article on Polkalokr soon. You can see Polkalokr is a highly customizable escrow platform that'll give power back to participants who use the platform. So imagine like how much potential you could see here with doing like smart contracts for locking tokens. You could do stuff with like redundancy in case something happens to yourself, for your family to get tokens received. You could do lockups for your children. So many different ways you could use the platform, which is pretty unique. But yeah, and also an initial market cap of 500k. So I'm going to have my eyes open for the public IDO whenever it happens. And if it's possible, I'm going to try and get some tokens through whitelisting or take part in the public sale. So 2 projects I'm highly anticipating right now. One Ethernity and the other one Polkalokr, with more information to come soon from myself. But in terms of just general TA, actually, you know what? I can actually maybe take a look at ChartX for Ethernity right now, because with the private distro happening today, it might help a few people out to find an entry price. Okay, so this is Ethernity. In terms of straight price action, let's take a fib from the candle high to the candle low. This looks so bad, but I don't really have the time to adjust the layout right now, so we're just going to roll with it. So you can see here, retest failed, and next major support level is around $18 in terms of the fib, but that's not important. I just wanted to see what's happening. So major level to watch for is $15.80. We can round that up to 16, I guess. You can see one retest here, another retest here, broke out. Have not seen a retest of that level since breaking to around $30. So that is where I would be looking for some major high time frame buys. If we can see that level get retested. So also probably around here. So we've already put a low in around 1950. $20 is obviously a level you want to be watching for if you're a bull, because we need to reclaim it as support, which looks good right now. I see no reasons to believe it's not bullish. So you got this here, the initial low with the wick below. Then we saw another retest on the 14th of March. And then we put in this low yesterday or last night, which is holding up pretty well again. So looking good. I'm honestly, I like I said on Twitter yesterday, I was expecting the anticipation of the private sale unlock to be front run, because I don't believe many people are going to be selling from what I'm hearing in terms of the private sale distribution. A lot of the distribution that happened on the original token generation event, a lot of private sellers are still holding and accumulating. So on-chain data suggests that maybe we see a lot more upside and less selling. So that's why I like to enter a little bit higher here and not wait for some really volatile correction like we see with a lot of project listings in this current market. So usually I'd be waiting for 16 cents to see 20 cents into resistance and then a retest of 16 cents. But because I'm bullish on the project and the lack of just like selling taking place, I think anywhere around 17 to 18 cents would be great if we see it. Yeah, I'm expecting some really big things from the project in general, so I have no issues buying a little bit higher and just having strong fundamentals with that project. So that's my thoughts right now on the market. If you did enjoy, please make sure you subscribe, and I'll see everybody next week for another video.